Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, members of the board. And I'm Henry County Commissioner Janet Taylor, but I also have with me Mayor Cowles, Mayor Wilson, and Mayor Babbs from the Glades area. Our families have deep roots in the Glades area, and we have with us in the audience today 5 generations of the Taylor family who've called Clewiston their homes. Like our neighbors on the coast, we've been watching the ongoing blue-green algae crisis with concern. We've read the reports and have seen what the scientists are saying. We know the scientists are saying that the issue is not caused by water from the farms south of the lake, and that attempting to store the water south of the lake cannot cure a problem of this magnitude. We also know that despite the calls from vocal activists to purchase U.S. sugar land, South Florida Water Management District scientists and engineers do not recommend taking additional farmland south of the lake out of production because storage and treatment is needed to the north, where 95% of the water and the nutrients come from. We also know that the state and federal government has invested billions into much-needed storage projects, and that any effort to buy land elsewhere will prevent these projects from being completed. In spite of all this science, an alarming number of activists are still calling for the government to buy up our land, flood our communities, and send dirty water south. I'm here today to tell you that these activists will not listen to the science. Perhaps they will listen to us. For many years, we have remained silent, and we've let our leaders in Washington, Tallahassee, and even here on the South Florida Water Management District speak for us. But since that time, the voice calling for the purchase of our land have only grown louder and more extreme. They've called for the destruction of the agricultural industry that support so many jobs in the Glades area. They've also called for flooding of our fields. And in some cases, they've called for the unthankful by wondering what would the failure of the Herbert Hoover Dike do. That's truly frightening, because we've had members who lost their lives during the 1928 hurricane. Time and time again, they have made these threats, all in the name of environmental preservation. But what about our preservation? For these reasons and many more, we will no longer be silent. We ask our neighbors to the north, east, and west to understand that there's more to this debate than one company and people living on the coast. We need to approach this issue from a humanistic viewpoint so that the lives impacted by the activist threats will not drastically be torn apart. Because our region is much more than sugarcane farming, we have a lot of other things in our community. We farm citrus, green beans, sweet corn, and on Friday nights, we play football. Going forward, we need to look at other solutions that do not involve destroying our communities in order to solve the problems of other people's communities. It's easy to just parrot a phrase like buy the land, but what did that really mean is destroy jobs for us. For every acre of sugarcane that is lost, our jobs are lost in the fields, in the factories, and in supporting jobs in every one of our communities. That takes food out of our children's mouths and threatens the roofs over their head. And it's not just our jobs, but many people who live here on the coast drive out to work in our communities. I would like to close by recognizing some of the children joining me here today. These are, and if you all would stand up, these children, these are our children, the grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren. We brought them here today so that you all could see these people and these children are the future of the Glades region. Our hopes, our dreams as parents, neighbors, and government officials rest on the shoulders of these children who aspire to be a part of our cities and our state future. What type of example will we be if we allow the same opportunities that were provided to us to disappear for them? I want our children and all the children in the Glades area to grow up in a state where their livelihoods aren't constantly threatened and their future can be filled with promise instead of uncertainty. It is my sincere hope that the debate can be guided by facts and science, not by hate-filled threats. I'm certain that you, the leaders of the governing board, will continue to do the right thing and advocate for the interests of protecting the environment and the Glades communities. Our future and their future depends on it. Thank you for hearing us today.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And I would like to acknowledge the three mayors who came out with you, and thank you for coming and seeing us. And also thank you for an acknowledgement also to the children you brought with you. So thank you, Commissioner.